Here's 7 phrases that you're saying every day, and honestly, they're sabotaging your recovery. I can't, I need, makes me, should, shouldn't, always, never, have to, and happens to me. I can't, I need, makes me, should, shouldn't, always, never, have to, and happens to me. My name's Sam, and I'm the Director of Prevention and Recovery with Mental Fitness. Now, 20 years ago, I actually questioned my own relationship with drugs and alcohol. And lucky for me, those questions allowed me to find an identity in myself that I didn't even know was possible. Let's start with number 1, I can't. So I used to tell myself all the time, I can't go to sleep without taking a pill, or I can't socialize without having a drink. And the reality is that just wasn't true. When you say, I can't stay sober, what you're doing is setting up a self-fulfilling prophecy of relapse. You have to remember, recovery requires believing in possibilities, not limitations. Your brain is going to believe whatever you tell it, so make sure that you're programming it for success, not failure. When you tell yourself that you can't do something, the saddest part about that is, you're probably not even going to try. You know, I've been sober for a long time and I can go to bed every single night without taking a drink or a drug. The reality is, if I was to think like this back then, I would have been perfectly fine, but I never even tried. Now let's talk about number 2, which is I need. There's a lot of crossover in these examples. Now, I could easily say something like, I need a drink to go to sleep, or I need a pill to socialize. When you say I need, what you're doing is creating a dependency on a person, place, or some other variable, which is unhealthy, because then you don't actually believe that everything that you need to succeed is already inside of you. And that is the truth. I've had people come up to me and tell me things like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I need to call my sponsor so I can have them tell me. And honestly, that sounds like a very unhealthy level of codependency, because everything that you need to succeed has already been given to you. It's just up to you to come up with the strategies to learn how to deal with those situations without depending and relying on others. Number 3 is makes me. Now, this statement implies that there are external factors that can control your emotions. Let's call these triggers, right? Now, honestly, I don't really believe in triggers. What I do believe in is emotional responses that we need to learn how to manage, right? So let's use this example. Let's just say that I have a girlfriend and her name is Jessica. Her and I broke up. Now she's my ex-girlfriend. And we go out to a party one night and I see her there. And my first thought is, oh my God, she makes me so mad. Like, I can't be here right now. I just need to leave. So right there in that one example were 3 statements of I can't, I need, and makes me. But here's the thing. If you were at that same party and you saw Jessica, would you feel that way? No, you wouldn't, because Jessica's not the problem. The problem is my emotional response that I'm having to Jessica. So the reality is Jessica is not powerful enough to make anybody feel anything. I need effective coping strategies so I can learn how to manage my emotions, reframe my stress. This way, nobody can have the power to make me feel anything that I don't want to. Number 4 is should, shouldn't. And when we say things like that, what we're really doing is placing a bunch of burdens and unnecessary or unrealistic expectations on ourselves, right? Your recovery journey is already going to be filled with tons of shame and guilt as it is, just because that's the nature of where we're coming from. You don't need to pile on unnecessary guilt with phrases like, I should be further along, or I shouldn't have relapsed. Perfectionism, honestly, is a huge trigger for relapse. So you should replace I should be further along with I'm definitely making progress. Now, the only thing that you should do if you're finding value in this is like this video and then go ahead and subscribe to our channel so you can continue to get more mental fitness strategies that you could use on a daily basis for your recovery. Now, number 5 is I always or I never. And honestly, this black and white thinking is like the hallmark of addiction. Saying things like, I always mess up, or I'll never be able to stay sober. All or nothing statements completely deny the reality of your recovery journey, and they discount all of your small victories. And if you continue with this fixed mindset, ultimately it's going to limit your growth. And number 6 is have to. Now, when you say I have to do something, it creates a sense of obligation that ultimately is going to lead to resentment. Now, you've heard it said before, instead of focusing on what you have to do, focus on what you get to do. And then the running joke is, the only thing that you have to do is pay taxes, but you could even reframe that like I did the other day with my client. I'm not in jail right now. I get to pay taxes because guess what? Inmates don't. And number 7, and the final toxic phrase, is happens to me. And honestly, when you say this, you're just fostering a victim mentality. And I used to do it all the time. I'd say things like, well, this always happens to me when I hang out with these friends, or this always happens to me when I go to parties. I always get arrested. I always get in trouble. Nothing just accidentally happened to me. I chose to be in that place with those people doing those things, and that, my friends, is why those things happen to me. I hope you found value in this training. If you did, there's a link in the description that will bring you to the entire content guide directly from the Mental Fitness Road Beyond Recovery workbook, which is what I use with my coaching clients. Now, in that content guide, there's also a worksheet that will help you not only eliminate these 7 toxic phrases from your vocabulary, but also give you strategies on how to replace them. Also, please make sure that you like this video. Give us a comment and let us know which strategy or which phrase stood out to you the most. And then go ahead and subscribe so you can continue to follow along for more mental fitness.